All right, time to talk about factoring and greatest common factor. First two questions are asking for the GCF of each polynomial. Well, here we're looking at factors of 63, 21, and 42. Now, just a reminder, I'm not going to do this in every problem because it takes too long for me, but to find the factors, you are going to take the number you're looking for and divide it by x. When you go to your table, every whole number pair will be a pair of factors. Scroll down, 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 7 and 9. Then this one flips to 9 and 7, so that's all my factors for that question. Let's go to here, we'll change this to a 21. Go to my table, 1 and 21, 3 and 7, and then it flips around to 7 and 3. Go here, plug in 42, go to my table, we have 1, 42, 2, and 21. We have 6 and 7, 3 and 14. Oops, almost missed that one. 3 and 14. Okay, so we're going to look for numbers that appear in all three lists. 1 makes an appearance. 3 appears in all three lists. 7 appears in all three lists. 9 does not. 21 appears in all three lists. And that's it. So our GCF here is 21. Then we need to look at our other values, our letters. So this one is d squared, that's d times d, and then e times e times e times e, and then f, oh, and there's 9 of them. Okay, well, we'll look at that in a second. The next one is 1d, 1e, and 1f, and then we have 1d and 5 f's. Okay, well, there are no e's in the last one, so e is out. They each have at least one d, and they each have at least one f. This one has an extra bunch, but this is going to be df. Okay. On this one, we are looking to factor it. Okay, so you find the GCF of these three numbers: 12, 18, and 4. Well, they all share a factor of 2. Okay, 18 is not divisible by 4, so we're going to take out a 2. Now this has 6 x's, this has 4 x's, and this has 2 x's. So they each have at least 2. This one has an extra, and this one has extras also. So we're going to take out x squared. So we're going to divide each of these by 2x squared. 12 divided by 2 is 6. X to the 6th divided by x to the 4th. We're taking 6 and taking away 2. That means there are 4 left. Negative 18 divided by 2 is negative 9. We have 4 x's, we're taking away 2, that leaves 2. 4 divided by 2 would be plus 2. 2 x's, we're taking away both of them, so that would be the end. This is the answer to that problem. Okay. Now, we're going to factor the following trinomials here. We've got a couple easy with a equals 1, so we're going to start x squared minus 12x plus 27, finding a, b, and c. A is 1, b is negative 12, and c is 27. I'm going to make my large x here in my t-chart. A times c is 27, c is negative 12. So I need factors of 27 that add up to negative 12. So remember, when you're doing this, if the bottom number is negative and the top number is positive, you're going to have to look for negative factors, all negative factors. So 27 divided by x, go to my table, and I'm going to go up. So I have negative 1, negative 27, I have negative 3, negative 9, and then decimal, 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 until I get to negative 9 and negative 3. So if I put these together, I get negative 28, so that's out. If I put these together, I get negative 12, so it's going to be negative 3 and negative 9. Then I have to make sure that I put my parentheses down here at the bottom, x minus 3 and x minus 9. Next question, same process. A is 1, B is 6, C is negative 7. So put my large X, make my T-chart. A times C is negative 7. Oops, negative 7. B is 6. So any numbers that multiply to negative 7 and add up to 6, I am going to put negative 7 in here. And go down here back to 0 so we can start fresh. So I have 1 and a negative 7, and then down here I have 7 and negative 1. Well, 1 minus 7 equals negative 6. 7 minus 1 equals positive 6, which is what I want. So 7, negative 1. And then that's going to be my solution. X plus 7, X minus 1. Next one, I have x squared minus 144. So remember, when there's no middle value, that middle value becomes 0. So A equals 1, B equals 0, and C equals negative 144. Okay. 1 times negative 144 is negative 144. B is 0. I need factors of negative 144 that add up to 0. Now, negative 144 is going to have a ton of factors. But in order for a number to add up to 0, it has to be positive and negative versions of the same thing. So like plus 2 minus 2, plus 5 minus 5, plus 10 minus 10, something like that. So that's what we're going to look for. Oops. Forgot to press second. So if we go to the table, there's a bunch of them, okay, but these are not going to cancel each other out. I want the same number for both x and y, just with a different sign. Well, they're getting closer together. There it is, 12 and negative 12. Okay, 12 and negative 12 will give us 0. So x plus 12, x minus 12. All right, on to the new stuff. So first thing we want to do here, whenever there's a number in front of A, is see if it is a greatest common factor. 12, 13, and 3 don't share any factors though, so we need to go ahead and do our bottoms up. Okay, so A is 12, B is negative 13, and C is 3. So we are going to go ahead and plug our numbers in. 12 times 3 is 36, bottom is negative 13, so we need factors of 36 that add up to negative 13. Now, remember, if the bottom is negative and the top is positive, we're looking for 2 negative values. So we get this light out of the way. There it is. So we want 36 divided by x. Let's go to my table, and we're going to go above. So negative 1, negative 36 equals negative 37. That's not right. Negative 2, negative 18 equals negative 20. That's not right. Negative 3, negative 12, that equals negative 15. That's not right. Well, we're getting closer. Negative 4 and negative 9 equals negative 13. So those are going to be my solutions. Remember, when you have an A that is greater than 1, you want to leave a little space here because we're going to go bottoms up. Right, so to do bottoms up, remember, you're going to take this term, the 12, and put it underneath. Then you want to reduce. Now, if you're having trouble reducing fractions, just use the calculator. I'm going to plug in negative 4 over 12. So negative 4, let's do it as a fraction. Negative 4 divided by 12, and the calculator will fix it for me. So it makes it negative 1 over 3. Let's do the same thing for this guy. Negative 9 over 12. It'll reduce it to negative 3 over 4. So we're going to go bottoms up, which means that the 3 goes up, goes with the x, and the minus 1 goes after. And then over here, bottoms up, 4x minus 3. Okay, and if you want to check your answer, which we're going to do right now, you can plug in the original question, 12x squared minus 13x plus 3, and then your solution, 3x minus 1 and 4x minus 3, and then check the tables in y1 and y2, and they should be identical all the way down, which they are. Okay, and I'm not going to do that for every problem because it'll take too long to show you, at least on the examples. On the next one, same process. 3, 14, and 8 do not share a common factor, so we're going to start there. A equals 3, B equals 14, and C equals 8. Okay, make my big X, make my t-chart. 3 times 8 is 24. On the bottom, we're going to have 14. So I need factors of 24 that add up to 14. I'm just going to go ahead and jump down here. 1 and 24 gives me 25. 2 and 12 gives me 14. So those are my two factors. Okay, we're going to go bottoms up, which means taking this value and putting it underneath. And then reduce it if we can. Now 2/3 does not reduce. So that's going to be one of my factors, 3x plus 2, bottoms up. 12 over 3 does reduce. 12 over 3 reduces to 4. But in order to use the bottoms up method, we need a fraction. So we're going to make that 4 over 1. So bottoms up means 1x plus 4. There's my solution. Last one, we have 7x squared minus 9x plus 2. No common factors. 7 and 2 are both prime numbers, so we wouldn't have had one. So A equals 7, B equals negative 9, C equals 2. So let's go ahead and make our large X and make our t-chart. And we're going to use the bonus method here where we have y1 and y2 being used. So 7 times 2 is 14. Negative 9 goes at the bottom. Look for factors of 14 that add up to negative 9. So we are going to put 14 divided by x in the top one. In the second one, we are going to put 14 divided by x plus x. Okay? And when we do that, our third column is what we're looking for. We want our third column to be negative 9. Now remember, if this is negative and this is positive, we're going to go up on the table to the negative numbers. So let's go ahead and look over here. I'm looking for negative 9 in the third column. There it is, which means negative 2 and negative 7 are my factors. Negative 2, negative 7. We're going to go bottoms up. Put this over 7. Put this over 7. Negative 2 over 7 does not round, so that means it's going to be 7x minus 2. Negative 7 over 7 does reduce to negative 1 over 1, which means my new factor is going to be 1x minus 1. And those are all of your answers. Good luck.